Let's get into the Andrew Yang controversy. As many of you know, I interviewed Andrew Yang last week. And in the interview, Andrew Yang, I believe, botched a very simple answer to whether white supremacists are welcome in his movement if they want ranked choice voting. It was a really simple question. I was surprised by Andrew's answer. I think he botched it, and it caused a problem. As a result, Andrew Yang ended up tweeting some pretty nasty things. And whether they were about me or not kind of remains unclear. Now, let's start with the clip, okay? Now, I'm actually going to play for you the question I asked before the question about white supremacy, just to show you that it was a genuine question and it followed contextually from the previous question. All right, so let me set the stage for you. This is from the interview with Andrew Yang. The most frequent question I got in different iterations was, who exactly that currently considers themselves to be on the right does Andrew Yang imagine bringing into the Forward Party? And to kind of make it a little more specific, we would imagine that there's lots of progressive Democrats, more centrist Democrats, even some folks who really consider themselves centrist, maybe in the kind of line of even like a John McCain, who like the idea of some of the reforms you're talking about. And that all kind of makes sense to me. When I think about people who believe Donald Trump won the election, vaccines, the COVID vaccine magnetizes you, causes autism, whatever the case may be, et cetera, right? You know the package of ideas that I'm talking about. One, are those people that would even conceivably say this Forward Party idea that Andrew Yang proposes in a coalition with the left makes sense? And number two, are these even people that you want as part of your coalition?
First, let me say, I want everyone as part of the coalition. If you can vote, we can disagree on a lot of things. It's all to the good.
Okay, so you heard the answer, right? He wants everyone. That's not how I would. That wouldn't be my perspective. Okay, so that's his answer. His answer is, I would want everyone. I want the vaccine magnetizes people. Those people, I want everybody. All right, so then I followed up.
I agree on the fact that this duopoly is not working. It's designed to turn us against each other and sink us. So that's one of the principles of the Forward Party, is that, look, I can disagree with you on a lot of stuff, but if we can make common cause on this, then we can go back to disagreeing when the democracy is actually set up to succeed, when they're,
So let me ask, so even, to make it really specific, if people on the right say the Republican Party is too centrist, I'm an extreme white supremacist or something like that, but I think we need to get, we need single transferable vote or whatever and campaign. You still welcome that because you're on the same page on that one issue. Now, this is a direct follow-up to when I said the anti-vax, the vaccine causes autism people, all this, you want those. And he's like, I want everybody. So now I follow up with a specific example. He should be able to answer this.
Yeah, if they're going to help us transition to a more effective democracy, I don't need to know what their stance is on things that I disagree with. People have a sense of where I'm coming from.
Okay.
But right now, I believe that there is an existential threat to the country.
So I think that that's a botched answer. Now, how would I have botched the answer? Okay. How would I have answered the question to avoid botching it, rather? My instinct, if I were him and I was asked this question, would be to say, I have denounced white supremacy countless times, and I have to tell you, I don't think any white supremacists would be interested in what I offer. It's not just about the fact that I want ranked choice voting and campaign finance reform, but if you look at all of my positions on cultural issues, the fact that I'm Asian, white supremacists are not going to be interested in what I want, and I'm not going out looking for white supremacists. That's how I would have answered the question. He answered it by saying, yeah, sure, but I don't like white supremacy. Okay. And then we moved on. This was a 24-minute interview, and this was a genuine follow-up based on what he said. That's it. That's it. Okay. So then the next day, I see this. I didn't think this needed stating, but people who hold ideologies such as white supremacy that are antithetical to grace and tolerance are not welcome in the Forward Party. Our movement for democracy reform is fighting to diminish harmful extremism. Great. Okay, so he clarifies. But then, look at this. Relatedly, This kind of manufactured controversy is the kind of thing that is dragging down our public discourse and distracting from the true issues at hand. He gave a bad answer. Racist is not the path to enlightenment. Okay, so listen, I don't know if he was referring to me when he said that, but this is the answer that he should have given. So, I tweeted, assuming this tweet is a response to the question I asked, I hope it needs no clarification that I was not attempting to manufacture controversy. I asked the question completely genuinely after reading the book. As hopefully you guys just saw, it wasn't even on my list of questions. It was a follow-up based on his answer that everyone is welcome, even the anti-vax people. So some people wrote back and said, David, he wasn't attacking you. He was attacking people on Twitter who took his answer and then called him a racist. I wasn't the one calling him a racist. Okay, if that's the case, then fine. But I don't know to what extent he was he was referring to me there. Okay, so that's the Andrew Yang thing. I don't know that we necessarily have to go further with it, but that is what it is.